It was only when I started to wear foundation that I needed to keep wearing foundation. I think we underestimate the power of small things that we can do for ourselves every day, and we overestimate the marketing claims. And 9 times out of 10, I'm disappointed by marketing claims. And that's coming from somebody who's reviewed thousands of products over the past almost decade. So as you can see by the title of this video and the fact that I'm not going in with a foundation, I am going to give foundation free, liquid foundation free a shot for a little bit here. Possibly a month, possibly forever, because I've been having reactions. What started as once in a blue moon, then I had them more. I've actually done videos where I've probably talked to you ad nauseum about my skin freaking out. And I'm like, my skin freaked out again. Hey guys, my skin freaked out again. So yeah, I don't really change up my skincare often, but as you know, there's a lot of actives that are being put into liquid foundations these days. Sometimes it's a tinted SPF even, so that's kind of a tricky thing. I've never had this sensitive of skin. It makes sense. Skin changes. I try too much. However, I do try and keep the skincare at bay, but what spurred it on was this. Sorry, you're going to see what my skin actually looked like. So this was... It's fun. A little bit on the forehead. The forehead, I don't usually apply a lot of product on. And then we have the other foundation on here. You can see because I did the side by side, this is much better. I must have reused the brush right here and right here. It is hot, usually after about a day. Gets to the neck. And I have been using this cortisone cream on my face. It's 0.05, so it's a low dosage. This has come out way too often. This was a mild reaction that I had, but I realized I'm going through that tube a little too fast. And for those that have been following, I've been taking care of my cat. We're still in it. I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, I've been doing all this tracking for her health and trying to help her. And I'm over here getting like massive skincare reactions. And it got me thinking, like, why are you doing this to your skin? You're not asking me to do that. You're not like, you need to try this foundation out. No one's telling me I need to do this. I'm the one that's doing it to myself. So it feels somewhat masochistic at this point. So that's going to be happening. I'm using the ODC mineral drops here. This is a tinted SPF. That doesn't mean that tinted SPFs, tinted moisturizers aren't going to be the culprit. But for me, primarily what's causing the reaction is a cream foundation, just fuller coverage, sometimes cream, mostly liquid foundations. And the products or ingredients that are getting to me, I still haven't narrowed it down to one. Sometimes I can use dimethicone and be fine. But other times, depending on maybe the dimethicone that they use, I will try it and will get the tightness feeling, the redness, all that fun stuff. And it usually shows up within a day. So that's why I'm just kind of like, I don't really need to subject my skin to this. And then the other thing is I was getting so much skincare sent to me. It's a wonderful place to be. Listen, I've tried the best of the best products out there. Not everything, but cleaner, greener. And you go to these products because they're claiming to be better ingredients, which a lot of them really do use wonderful ingredients, but they're also kind of washed with this message of these are safer for your body. It just goes to show you that I use some of the best products out there. They're expensive. Yes, some of them are PR, and that was still happening. So clean only goes so far. You guys probably already know this. That doesn't mean that the ingredients aren't going to upset your skin. The product, I think, caused it. I think I know what it is because I did a half and half test, a comparison, and this side went berserk and this side went a little crazy, but not bad. So that was kind of the blessing in disguise. It was a cream foundation and I saw it the next day and it was saying it is safe for sensitive skin. So what I'm going to tell you is, just because a product claims to be safe for sensitive skin does not mean it's going to be good for your skin. It does not mean it's going to be safe for your skin. So don't buy it thinking I'm good. Patch test, patch test, patch test. I know it's annoying, but patch test. And don't just patch test on your arm. You want to do it in the areas like my forehead doesn't break out as much. And you know why? Because I rarely put a lot of product on my forehead. It's just over the course of the years, you've probably not seen me put a ton of product on my forehead. And the truth of it is, I never used to wear foundation. Before I started filming these videos, I never wore foundation. I never wore 90% of what I wear now. A lot of it I really like. I like playing with makeup. I like putting stuff on my face, obviously, but never wore foundation. It was only when I started to wear foundation that I needed to keep wearing foundation. And that bugged me. It bugged me. I've been thinking about it and it bugged me. By the way, this little spot stick is so good if you get a lot of creasing. Do that trick. I've talked about it before, but there's lots of videos here. So if you needed a friendly reminder, just an eyeshadow brush, buff it into this. If you want even less, you can buff it onto the back of your hand and then press it into wherever you want the brightening. I needed it on the inner corners, as you could see. I evened out the top. It's such a wonderful product, and it's a smaller female run business. The other thing that's kind of sad is that Ami Collet, if you haven't heard, they're going out of business. Such a bummer, but there's an incredible article in The Cut from the founder, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But yeah, that's a sad update for the team here. It's just they didn't have enough funding. I think they got that 2020 infusion, and then there was a knee-jerk pullback on DEI. I'm not going to go into the politics of that, but it sucks. Testing the Hydra Glow Powder today from RMS again. I understand that some skin types, you want that coverage. You might just like that look. That might be your jam. I don't know. But again, I didn't need foundation until I started wearing foundation. And on that note, for skincare, I have to tell you the amount of products that I've tried versus the ones that I've actually seen results, it's so few and far between. And the claims are so wild to me. And I just was sort of like, what are we doing? We have totally lost sight, myself, of what's going on. And yes, beauty is wonderful, but you know what's happening. I mean, this is another hydrating powder. This is supposed to control oil, right? This is supposed to blur. Everyone's very into blurring, probably thanks to social media. And then this is supposed to be a hydrating gel to powder technology. So this is going to be potentially great for somebody who has dry skin, wants to mute the shine, wants to blur the skin, God forbid we see a pore, and wants it to last all day. That's what's going on here. There's lots of powders that are similar to this. There's lots of tinted SPFs that are similar to this. There's so many options out there right now, and there's just thousands and thousands of more, and they come out with like peptides are it. Peptides are it. They're going to do it. And I was thinking about this, dare I say ruminating, and I realized, first of all, like I mentioned, we're going to move away from foundations and see what my skin does. But on the flip side, you know, you can't over foundation or out serum internal stress, lack of sleep, and all of the rest of it. And sugar, I've been eating a little bit more sugar because I don't know, like the stress. And I'm just like, my friend who visited left gummy bears. I never eat gummy bears, but like, God, they're so good. So Ilia palette, I like it. I'm just kind of like, I like it, but you can find 1,800 others like it. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. But it's an honest mood. I don't know if that's any different than normal days, but before I stopped my track record of 45 videos in 45 days, the get ready with me's that I was doing for my birthday. The last one I remember mentioning that I was going to do this 1-1-1. So one change once a day for 1 week. 1-1-1. Because we like 1-1-1. So the first one was 15,000 steps a day. It was something that I had worked on and with my coach, my friend. And so I've been trying to get to 15,000, and these are not linear challenges. This isn't a force. This is more of a flow. And the important thing I want to say here is that I'm not doing it just to lose weight. I'm doing it to see if I can do it and stick with something, because that builds confidence. But I'm doing it to see what's possible. I think a lot of wellness out there right now is based on there's something really wrong with you. Foundation, beauty, skincare. There's something really wrong with you, and this is going to fix it. 97% of people who were gathered in a room and they were all 25 and this wasn't third party checked said that it made their skin bouncy and plump. So it's going to work for you. It's going to work. Don't worry about it. You've got, God forbid you age and you're a female. When I was doing this 15,000 a day, I had one day I hit it, one day I didn't, one day I hit 10,000, but I have hit at least 10,000 a day. And my whole life has become trying to figure out when I'm going to walk, because it's not like it's complicated, but it's like, I don't like doing the same thing at the same time every day. So it's been fun. The other side effect of this, which is a positive side effect, has been my skin has been looking so much better. And this is directly after a reaction. I've removed the actives from serums. I'm not doing retinols. I never did Tret. I never did any of that stuff. I did try retinol and everybody complimented my skin over here. So I'm letting that go to the wayside, dries the crap out of my skin, and avoiding the liquid foundations. I've just been using tinted moisturizers, SPFs, and there's a lot of different methods that you can get really amazing coverage with. It's not just sheer and light, and you can just use other things. Like foundation is really unnecessary, I think. It's based off of my skin. I know I don't have a lot of acne. I don't have a lot of hyperpigmentation and scarring. So I get it. This might not apply to a lot of people, but it's not really a necessary step, I don't think. And not only that, but it was hurting my skin. So as I've started removing those things, I've made a swap to add the walking in. That's how I'm viewing it. It's invisible skincare. It's taking the topical products and swapping them in, not with new topical products, but with a lifestyle shift. And like I said, my skin has never looked better. Mentally, I feel better. Are days perfect every day? Absolutely not. But it's been a little over a week. I've hit 15,000 maybe 3 times, 16,000 one day. And I was like, what? You're crazy. Having a treadmill helps. Really. And yeah, I feel a lot better. So I'm going to keep doing the skincare tech. I feel like the skincare serums and the oils and it's overwhelming even to me. And I'm used to it. It's 10 years of trying this stuff, wearing this stuff. I was about to put on lipstick. I'm not going to do that yet. And I'm kind of like, I'm having trouble seeing the real differentiator, not in the marketing, not in the packaging, not in the claims even, because a lot of the claims are very similar. They just use different hero ingredients, but in the results, which is where it kind of matters most. If you're spending over $100 on a skincare serum, on an oil, on a body cream. And that's not to say that these don't work for people and aren't wonderful products, because they might be miracle workers for some people. But if you try hundreds and you're still kind of like, I mean, it's not moving the needle really. My lifestyle has had the most impact, and the less is more approach for me works. That's just me. So I'm just kind of like, I don't really, the vitamin C of it all. Plus, my skin just doesn't like it, just doesn't respond. So ultimately, this all falls under the umbrella of listening more to yourself and what your skin is trying to tell you, and what your body is trying to tell you, and what your mind is trying to tell you. Don't listen to people like me who say they love a tinted moisturizer even. Just because I say that doesn't mean you're going to love it. You guys know I say that all the time. But there's really a reminder here to, if you're frustrated by your skin, if you're like, why is this happening now? There's ways that you can apply topical products to help, or go for the big guns and go to the dermatologist and get like the treatments that are more expensive. But those tend to move the needle, I find, more so. They're just more expensive. However, if you add up the cost of serums and oils that you've bought versus one, monthly treatment for 3 months at a dermatologist that they recommend, I don't know. It might be closer to apples if the dermatologist treatment works. But covering up my skin every day and then covering it up when the reaction was going away and then doing it again and again, it was sort of like the universe eye roll, but the universe was kind of like, when is she going to get it? Like, is she going to figure it out that not only does she not need these products, but they're hurting her? And I was testing it for the channel. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself for the YouTube channel? This is crazy. That came from I've been doing a lot of meditation. I've been doing a lot of, you guys know, like I fell downstairs. I've been recentering on myself here. And I do think that if more people did that, this would be a different kind of world. It's very easy to listen to the things on social. I am a part of that engine. I'm a part of that beast right now. But I am also going to continue to keep it real with you and tell you, like, I'm still going to post. I'm still going to review products. I'm just listening to my skin, and my skin is telling me this is not good for you. And my barrier is just getting worse and worse and worse. So now it's time to look at skincare from a different perspective, which I've always thought needed to happen. By the way, this is the Soch Rosy Rest. These are their new cushion shadow or blushes. They're so pretty. It all comes back to just kind of looking inward, not kind of looking inward. You gotta take a minute, take a breath. The foundation is not going to outdo the fact that you're in a job that you're miserable at. Am I saying quit your job? No. But maybe start something or do something that brings joy into your life and see how your skin changes. I think we underestimate the power of small things that we can do for ourselves every day because we're just like constantly on the go. And we overestimate the marketing claims. And 9 times out of 10, I'm disappointed by marketing claims. And that's coming from somebody who's reviewed thousands of products over the past almost decade. So you're not alone if you're like, why isn't this working for me? Everybody loves it. Compounded by the fact that you now have influencers out there that are just saying things are great so they can sell them. Like, we all know that's happening. And not every one of them is doing it. But that leads to this confusion. So when you feel that confusion, but your skin is still freaking out like mine was, what I do, this is the Ilia Limitless Lash. I'm just not really loving it. Sorry. And it's not that I don't love this. It just used to be such a top contender. It still has that weird smell. And I just like other things better, other mascaras better. That's the thing. This is a great mascara. I don't think I like it as much as other ones at this point. You know, when you compare them side by side. The other thing about mascaras is they talk about all the claims in mascaras like they're going to make your lashes stronger. I've used some for a few months, which is enough time to see it. The one mascara where I saw some lash help before I started using this new serum that I'm testing for you guys was the Victoria Beckham. I actually did see an improvement in my lash health. Not as much fallout. I hadn't changed much. And I used primarily that mascara because I loved it so much. But other than that, maybe. And this isn't somebody who just does anecdotal, right? I take pictures. I do before and afters. I do look at these things. I try to make it as objective as possible. Just listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to what your skin's trying to tell you. I think there's so much fun product to play with when it comes to the product that's trying to solve and fix you and make you better, me better. I'll speak for myself. I think I'm just in a phase or an era where I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to listen to my skin. I'm going to let it tell me where to go. But more importantly, I'm backing off quite a bit. I want to get back to the fewer better. It's what this brand, this platform, my website is all about. I'm trying to help you find your fewer better, not just continue buying more stuff, although it's tempting because there's a lot of fun stuff out there. So I think I've done that, but I sort of myself get wrapped up in the launch schedules and all the rest of it. But I have a lot of 30-day tests that I'm doing right now. And I think I want to be a little bit more, I don't want to say brutal, but I'm going to say brutal with the battles, just to get down to what I really, really, really like and what I think could be really good for people, not just my skin. I'm going to go back to the rose ink, like lipstick, for example. Well, it can come down to texture and wear tests and stuff like that. I love a lipstick. Lipstick is sort of like my safe space. Lip color, it's always been my safe space. I happen to really like this color. There's a lot of pink happening right now. There's a lot of glow. So you're looking at the RMS, right? That was one of the things I was going to tell you about this powder. I've put stuff on top, and this Soch is not glowy. It's hydrating, but it's not glowy. So you're seeing the hydration, not a shimmer. But the powder does not really mattify very well with a loose application, changes everything. So I'm going to go in, and they recommend this on the site too, just for fairness sake, pressing in with, they have a pad that they give you. This is one of those flip top things that I hate. I hate them. Sorry, it's harsh. You shouldn't really say hate, but I did. So I think, yeah, that's great. Is it better than unpowder? Different. At this point, I think I prefer unpowder, but it's going to give more of a matte look. It's not going to feel drying because within the minutes that I was talking to, it already brought a lot of shine through, and I don't want all that shine. And it was here, not where I was adding more product on top. Speaking of shine, I was going to put on this Mob Beauty highlighter. I never use highlighters really anymore. I don't know what that's about, but they're pretty fun. This is in M97, so I just put all of that powder on top. I still want to do it. She still wants to do it. It's kind of peachy. That's another thing too. If you're just wearing tinted moisturizer and say you have redness on your skin or you want evening out, a really good thing to do for me that I have found to work really well. You take a tinted moisturizer, doesn't have to be this one, put a little powder on top of it. And then if you add color like bronzer or even this colored highlighter, which I'm actually really liking, then you kind of trick the eye. So say there's rosiness here, not the end of the world. That's my skin. My skin's a little rosy. This kind of just kind of evens it all out and it keeps things looking natural and not just one shade, you know? That's what I'm avoiding. I'm going to put this on the lid because I can. Just playing. Very simple, very easy, very lightweight. Will it withstand the humidity? Probably not. Unpowder? Probably will. But I'm still testing it. Life has been upside down and topsy-turvy for me. I've been managing that as best that I possibly can. Some days are better than others, but I have been working on my bot and I have reviews. They just haven't gone on the site quite yet. So there's been a little bit of a stall out, but you know, thanks for bearing with me. I have a family member who is furry and sweet and she's not better yet. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope this was fun for you or inspiring, or tell me if you haven't used a foundation in years, because I've heard that before in the comments. So you're ahead of me. Took me a minute. I will still test them if there are big launches that we want to see, like Jones Road launches another foundation. I'm going to test it for you to see. I'm going to try and still avoid those actives and the ingredients that I think might be messing with my skin, primarily silicones, but I don't know if that's the main culprit. So foundation free for me, the 15,000 steps continues. The body feels so much better doing it. The mind, so much better doing it. I just have to figure out my routine. It's always my issue. So with that said, let me know what's working for you. And if you've tried foundation free, if you're like, I've been doing this my whole life, Britt, I never wear foundation. Share your tips. Let us know. I'll see you right back here real soon. Until then.